Hello, my name's Michael Beasley and I'm Bishop of Hertford in the Diocese of St Albans, and for reasons that I can't begin to explain, I have been asked to do a guest appearance today to offer you the Bible study for this third day of this Taizé Home pilgrimage that we're all engaged with this week. So it's lovely to be with you. Thank you for having me as we look at this passage from Mark chapter 1. It's a story of Jesus meeting a leper. Tells a story about Jesus on the move, yet able on that journey to be attentive and present to the people around him. Starts off with Jesus away from the crowd, doing what sustains him and gives him life and purpose and direction and affirmation and love. And a sense of being who he is and what he is about. Jesus is praying on the top of this mountain with his heavenly Father, receiving all that love and affirmation that the Father gives to him. And he's up there when he gets found. And he's found because, as Peter says when he arrives there, everybody wants him. Everybody wants a piece of what Jesus is and what he can do and to be available to them to help them. And it's hardly any surprise. I've lived and worked in parts of the world where healthcare is very, very limited. It's desperate when it's not around. And I'm sure that if I'd been a Galilean villager in Jesus' day and found that there was somebody around who could offer all that was needed to meet my needs, by goodness me, I'd have wanted him. And what's more, I'd have wanted him to stay, not to go anywhere else, but to be present to me always. And that's why Jesus gets told, everybody wants you. But Jesus is not open to that kind of holding, to being held down in that way, and says that he needs to be moving. He needs to be on his way. He's got much, much, much more to do than just to serve one particular group of people in one particular place. And so he carries on in his travels, and then he encounters a leper. And a leper in Jesus' day would have been the very opposite of somebody that everybody wanted. To be a leper was to be outcast, beyond the pale, not member of the community, beyond things, far away. And Jesus meets this man who is so excluded from participation in the life of everybody else around him. And the man says to him, "Please, Jesus, make me clean." And Jesus says, "Yes, I'll do this." Now you could read this story just as being about physical healing. That Jesus sees somebody who's poorly and he helps them. And yes, it is about that, but it's about much more as well. Because what Jesus does for this leper is achieve in that man's life an astonishing act of reconciliation and restoration. And as such, this serves as a metaphor, a story, an example of Jesus' whole ministry, of why he came, of what he is about. Jesus comes to bring restoration and reconciliation for everybody, for all those who are excluded, for whatever reason. And in his day, the leper would have been the prime example of that. And through his healing, this man is allowed back in, is brought back into relationship. And that's shown in the text when Jesus sends him off to the priest to get checked out. And as a result of a positive examination, this man would have been restored to family, to work, to relationships, to the synagogue, to the whole of life. And that's what Jesus offers each of us now, and asks Jesus to join with him in this work too. This work of reconciliation and restoration that is at the heart of the gospel. Now, there aren't many lepers around nowadays. It's good to know that medical research means that that's the rarest of diseases, or one of the rarest diseases, I should say. But I don't reckon you'll need to think too hard before it will occur to you people who are excluded for a whole range of reasons, due to their disability or their sexuality, people who are excluded because of their race or ethnicity, or for any one of 100 other reasons that human beings can think of to push people out, to say, they're not like us, we have no part with them, they're beyond the pale. The challenge that we're given is to join in what Jesus offers. Restoration to the life of community, to bring people back in from the cold, to bring them into the fullness of one another's experience. And it's really striking in the gospel how this is received, because this is such good news. A leprosy is caused by a microbacterium. But what happens in the gospel is that this news goes viral. That what happens for the leper becomes the talk, the story of everybody around. It is so amazing and so extraordinary that it comes to the point where Jesus can't go into a town because everybody wants to see and understand and know what he has done. And people come out to find him. That's the gift that Jesus offers you and me and the whole world still today. And that's the gift that we're called to join in and bring about as well. The proposal from Taizé for today is always on the move, fully present to those around us. Perhaps the question we might ask coming out of this Bible study is, who are we moving towards? Who are the people we know to be excluded in our time and our day? How are we present to them, speaking to them of love and justice, of fellowship, of welcome, of peace, to be fully present that they can know this good news, the reality of this good news, which is the restoration of life that the kingdom is designed to bring. Thank you for having me with you today, and I pray that you'll have an amazing time as you think about the questions that are to go with this Bible study.